All right, we are joined on the podium by Khia Miller and Coach Kim McNeill. Coach, why don't we start with a general comment by you, and then we'll go to questions.
Yeah, every time we play, North Texas is always a tough one. Extremely physical, back and forth, back and forth. I think we've almost played an extra game with 6 overtimes, in the 3 games that we've played. But, kudos to them. The tougher team, the more disciplined team, won tonight. I thought we showed spurts of being grindy and really executing the game plan. I thought the second half defensively, we stayed in the locker room. We're a much better defensive team than we showed in the second half. But, I'm just proud of how far this program has come. In the last 3 years, we really turned it around, and, winning championships has become a part of our constant conversations. I tell you, when I first got here in 2019, that definitely wasn't the case. And there's been some great players that have come along the way, that have gotten East Carolina to where they are. Women's basketball is prevalent in Greenville. It wasn't like that when I first got here. So obviously this one hurts. We were hoping to make another run in the tournament like we've done the last 2 years. But, we'll go back to the drawing board and have a good off season and continue to work and make sure we're back here next year, but ending in a different way.
Thank you, Coach. Chuck, we have anybody on Zoom?
We do. We can go right to the Zoom. Patrick, if you have a question, feel free to go ahead.
Hey, Coach. When you guys got it there in the fourth quarter to 2, they went a little bit of a run after that. But I guess, what would you see just being able to battle back after that third quarter and cut it to 2?
Yeah, I thought we were able to get some stops and score some baskets. Obviously, the way they were able to expand the lead again was, it's been our Achilles heel all year long, turning the ball over. We had some crucial turnovers that I think led to them to have 2 back-to-back threes. They kind of stretched it open and got their confidence going, got them feeling really good about themselves. We've shown resiliency all year. I think that's been the frustrating part about this team, is that we've been so up and down. They'll get your hopes up. You feel like we've turned the corner. We're going to continue to move forward. And then, we'll have a game where, we kind of go backwards. So, honestly, I talked to the team. I think we underachieved this season. I thought this was a season we could have went, over 500 in the league, finishing 7th. Obviously, definitely thought we were better than that, and should have definitely been close to 20 wins. So, thought we underachieved. But like I said, this team was kind of a tease. Play really good one game, and then the next game kind of come and take 2 steps backwards.
I guess what can you say about the player to your left? Khia, obviously, she kind of got into a starter's role this year and is just a really good 2-way player for you. I guess, what have you seen of her development?
Yeah, I thought it started last year, at the end of the season when she really took some strides, moving forward. And obviously, with the loss of Danae McNeill this year, we needed some guards to step up and score. And, Khia has done that, for us, whether it's from the mid-range, getting downhill, or shooting a 3. But, is extremely vocal, very passionate, hates to lose, and, emotional when it comes to that. But she's definitely taken, some huge strides, and, hopefully she'll continue to take the strides so we're not here, sitting in this place next year.
And, for Khia, you guys have played an extra game and a half against North Texas over the past couple of years. And just from a player perspective, how, I guess, prepared were you for what would be a physical type basketball game?
I think mentally, we all knew that it was going to be a physical game. The one in the regular season, it was physical. It was a hard game, and we went back and forth. We had the lead, so we had the confidence that we could come in and win this game 100%. We should have won the game in the regular season. It didn't fall that way, and so we had the confidence that we could do it today. Unfortunately, we didn't do it, but, we never going back down from a fight, so.
And just kind of going off that, Khia, in that fourth quarter when you guys do, give up the lead in the third, but, from your guys' perspective, I guess what was that fourth quarter like, just still battling and knowing, that the season could end, I guess, but, you guys were still battling there for sure.
Yeah. I think when we cut it down to 2, we were really getting momentum and really feeling good, like everybody's pointed out, but those back-to-back threes hurt us, some transition points, and then our constant fouling, it didn't help us. So, it was all like a perfect storm at the end that kind of hit, and we couldn't overcome it. Yeah.
And Coach, that Lampkin for them, I know she got her double-double, but, you held her to 3 of 13 shooting. I guess what did you try to do against her defensively?
I mean, she was a huge focal point on the scouting report. You know, we didn't want her to have one-on-one looks. You know, I thought early she got kind of loose on the offensive boards, which is what she does very well, and then we kind of honed in and, you know, really focused on, you know, limiting her to one shot and making her shots tough. You know, we've got size down there, so I thought she kind of struggled scoring over top of us, but, you know, too many fouls. You know, I think the majority of her points came from the free throw line.
And, you know, Coach, you mentioned it at the top. I mean, this program's came a long way, and you guys are absolutely a tough out in the tournament. I mean, making some serious runs the past few years. Well, I guess what does this performance kind of do to maybe fuel the fire, just to kind of reload and get back at it?
Yeah, you know, we just got to look at some things that we need to do differently, you know, in the future. And I think one thing that we didn't buy into the whole year was just practicing hard consistently. You know, we were too up and down in practice. And, you know, I'm old school. I believe in you got to train your minds and your bodies to do, you know, things a certain way. And, you know, when you train yourself to do something one way, it just becomes natural. And I didn't think as a team we bought into that, practicing hard every single day. You know, practices should be harder than games. And I felt like our games were harder than practice, and it should be the other way around. So, you know, we got to buy into that. We got to buy into, you know, practicing harder and, you know, doing the little things and really winning the last 30 minutes of practice. I think when you can win the last 30 minutes of practice, that helps you win on the road. It makes you mentally tough.
And just kind of, you know, last thing, obviously, you know, this happens every year. You have, you know, exits and stuff, but, you know, I guess just, you know, Jayla Herb coming back after missing a season, Khia Miller stepping up, Devin Hageman doing some things. I mean, I guess what did you just like about some of the younger players who really stepped up and, you know, played some pretty good basketball in the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of says a lot. You know, you starting 2 sophomore wings and a freshman point guard, you know, and you could obviously tell that was the focal point, you know, of the scouting report, you know, kind of pressure our guards and try to take the post away. You know, I thought at times they really did a great job of stepping up to the challenge, you know, and not playing like sophomores and not playing like freshmen. You know, the minutes that they got is just going to make them, you know, even better sophomores and even better juniors.
Well, thanks. Yeah, it's been a pleasure covering you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Go
Thank you.
Pirates.
That's it. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.